There is a monkey that lives inside your chest. You cannot see it, but you feel it. It jumps from branch to branch, swinging wildly between what happened yesterday and what might happen tomorrow. It chatters without pause. It pulls at your attention like a child tugging at your sleeve. It never rests, and the more you tell it to be still, the louder it becomes. This monkey is not your enemy. It is not a flaw in your design. It is simply a mind that has forgotten how to sit in silence. And today, we will learn how to guide it back to stillness. The restless mind is not a modern invention. 2,000 years ago, monks sitting beneath Bodhi trees faced the same inner storm, the same voices, the same fears, the same endless loop of thought spinning like a wheel that goes nowhere. What has changed is not the mind itself, but the speed at which we live. We have filled every gap with noise, every silence with distraction, every moment of stillness with the glow of a screen. And so the monkey has grown louder, faster, more desperate for attention. But here is the truth that will set you free. The restless mind does not need to be fought. It needs to be understood. It needs to be welcomed. It needs to be seen clearly, without judgment, without fear, until it finally relaxes into the arms of awareness. Let me tell you something important. The mind is designed to think. That is its nature. Asking the mind not to think is like asking the heart not to beat. It cannot be done. And yet, we spend so much energy trying to stop our thoughts, trying to empty the mind, trying to force silence where silence cannot be forced. This is where the suffering begins, not in the thinking itself, but in the war we wage against it. The restless mind is not the problem. The problem is that we believe we are the restless mind. We identify so completely with every thought, every worry, every fear, that we forget there is a deeper part of us that simply watches. That part is always still. That part is always peaceful. That part is who you truly are. Imagine standing beside a river. The water rushes past you, wild and turbulent. Leaves swirl on the surface. Branches tumble in the current. This is your mind when it is restless. Now imagine that you are not in the river. You are standing on the bank. You are not swept away by the water. You are simply watching it flow. The river does not stop because you are watching, but you are no longer drowning in it. This is the first step to quieting the restless mind. Not stopping the thoughts, but learning to stand on the bank. Learning to watch without being pulled under. Learning to say quietly to yourself, I am not my thoughts. I am the one who notices them. Take a slow breath now. Feel the air enter your body. Feel it leave. In this single breath, there is no past, there is no future, there is only this. This is the doorway to stillness, not some distant meditation hall, not some mountaintop monastery, right here, right now, in the simple act of breathing. The restless mind hates the present moment. It wants to live anywhere but here. It wants to replay yesterday. It wants to rehearse tomorrow. It wants to solve problems that do not exist yet and relive conversations that are already over. But the present moment is the only place where peace can be found, and the breath is the anchor that brings you back. There is an old teaching that says the mind is like a wild horse. If you try to force it into submission, it will fight you. If you try to cage it, it will panic. But if you approach it with patience, with gentleness, with respect, it will eventually calm. It will eventually trust you. It will eventually allow you to ride it where you wish to go. This is how we work with the restless mind. Not with force, not with anger, not with shame, but with kindness, with curiosity, with the understanding that this mind, this beautiful, complex, powerful mind, is doing its best to protect you. It is trying to keep you safe. It is scanning for danger, planning for the future, replaying the past, all in an effort to make sure you survive. And so we do not curse it. We thank it. We say, I see you, I hear you. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. But right now, in this moment, I am okay. You can rest. Let me share a story. There was once a monk who could not meditate. Every time he sat down to practice, his mind exploded with thoughts, worries about his family, memories from childhood, plans for the day ahead. He tried everything. He tried focusing harder. He tried repeating mantras. He tried sitting longer, sitting straighter, sitting in different places. Nothing worked. Finally, in frustration, he went to his teacher and said, "Master, I cannot quiet my mind. I am a failure at meditation." The teacher smiled and said, "Tell me, when you sit, do you notice that your mind is restless?" The monk nodded. "Yes, of course I notice. That is the problem." The teacher's smile widened. "Then you are not failing. You are succeeding. Meditation is not about having no thoughts. It is about noticing that you are thinking. That noticing, that awareness, that is the practice. That is the path. The restless mind will quiet itself when it is ready. Your job is simply to watch." This story holds a key. We think the goal is to have a silent mind. We think the goal is to feel peaceful all the time. We think the goal is to transcend the chaos and live in some elevated state of constant calm. But this is not the path. This is a fantasy. The true path is learning to be okay with the restlessness, learning to sit with it, learning to let it be there without letting it control you. Because when you stop fighting the restless mind, something miraculous happens. It begins to settle on its own. Like muddy water, left undisturbed, it clears, slowly, naturally, without force. Notice this moment. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the weight of your body. Notice the rhythm of your breath. In this noticing, there is a gap, a small space between you and your thoughts. This gap is sacred. This gap is freedom. The restless mind lives in the past and the future, but awareness lives only here. And the more you practice returning to awareness, the wider that gap becomes. The more you practice simply noticing, simply watching, simply being present, the less power your thoughts have over you. They still come, they still chatter, but you are no longer their prisoner. You are the sky, and they are just clouds passing through. Here is something practical, something you can do today. The next time you feel your mind spiraling, do not try to stop it. Do not judge yourself for thinking. Instead, name what is happening. Say quietly to yourself, "I am worrying," or "I am remembering," or "I am planning." Just name it. This simple act of naming creates distance. It reminds you that you are not the worry, you are the one observing the worry. And in that observation, the grip loosens, the spiral slows. You are no longer identified with the thought. You are simply watching it move through you like weather moving through the sky. Another practice. Set aside 3 minutes. Just 3. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish, and simply count your breaths. 1 on the inhale, 2 on the exhale, 3 on the inhale, 4 on the exhale. Count up to 10 and then start again at 1. You will lose count. Your mind will wander. You will suddenly realize you are thinking about work, or what to eat for dinner, or something someone said last week. This is not failure. This is the practice. When you notice you have drifted, gently, without judgment, bring yourself back. Start again at 1. Do this for 3 minutes. Do this every day, and watch what happens. Not immediately, not magically, but slowly. Over time, you will notice something shifting. The restless mind will still be there, but you will be less bothered by it. You will be more at home in yourself. The restless mind loves to create problems. It loves to imagine worst-case scenarios. It loves to replay painful moments and rehearse difficult conversations. It does this because it believes that thinking about a problem is the same as solving it. But most of the time, it is not. Most of the time, overthinking only deepens the wound. Most of the time, the best thing you can do is stop thinking and start feeling. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the life moving through your body. This is not avoidance. This is wisdom. Because when you are fully present, when you are fully grounded in your body, the restless mind loses its fuel. It has nothing to grasp onto. And in that absence of fuel, it naturally quiets. There is a teaching in Zen that says, the obstacle is the path. The restless mind is not something standing in the way of your peace. It is the very thing teaching you how to find peace. Every moment of restlessness is an opportunity to practice awareness. Every moment of distraction is an invitation to return. Every moment of mental chaos is a chance to choose stillness, not by forcing the chaos to stop, but by choosing not to engage with it, by choosing to rest in the part of you that is already still. That part exists. It has always existed. It exists right now, beneath the noise, beneath the chatter, beneath the endless loop of thought. You do not need to create it. You only need to remember it. Let me tell you what happens when you practice this. Not once, not twice, but over and over, day after day, moment after moment. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to trust that you can handle whatever arises. You begin to trust that thoughts are just thoughts, feelings are just feelings. They come, they go, they do not define you. And in that trust, something softens. The grip of anxiety loosens. The weight of worry lightens. You start to move through your day with a little more ease, a little more grace, a little more peace. Not because your life has changed, but because you have changed. Because you have learned to stand on the bank of the river and watch the water flow without needing to control it. Take another slow breath. Feel the stillness that lives in the pause between the inhale and the exhale. That stillness is always there. It does not come and go. It does not depend on circumstances. It is the background against which all thoughts, all emotions, all experiences arise. It is the canvas upon which your life is painted. And the more you rest in that stillness, the more you realize that you are not the painting. You are the canvas, unchanging, untouched, always whole. Here is the deepest truth. The restless mind is not your enemy. It is a messenger. It is trying to tell you something. It is trying to tell you that you are living too fast, that you are caring too much about things that do not matter, that you are neglecting the quiet voice of your own heart. And so, instead of silencing it, we listen. We listen with compassion. We listen with patience. We ask it, what are you afraid of? What do you need? What are you trying to protect? And when we listen deeply, without judgment, without rushing to fix or change, the restless mind begins to relax. It begins to trust that we are paying attention. It begins to trust that it does not need to scream to be heard. This is the practice. This is the path. Not perfection, not some final arrival at permanent peace, but a daily, moment by moment, return to presence. A daily, moment by moment choice to watch instead of drown, to breathe instead of fight, to trust instead of control. The restless mind will never fully disappear, but it does not need to, because you are learning to live alongside it without being ruled by it. You are learning to be the sky, vast and open, allowing the clouds to pass without clinging to them. And so, my friend, the next time your mind is restless, do not despair. Do not see it as failure. See it as an invitation to practice, an invitation to return, an invitation to remember who you truly are beneath the noise. You are not broken. You are not flawed. You are a human being learning to be human, and that is enough. That is more than enough. That is everything. Sit with yourself today, even for just a moment, even for just a single breath, and know that in that moment, in that breath, you are exactly where you need to be. The restless mind will quiet when it is ready. Your job is not to force it. Your job is simply to be present, to be kind, to be patient, and to trust that peace is not something you chase. It is something you uncover. It has been here all along, waiting quietly beneath the surface, waiting for you to stop and listen. Today, may you find peace in simply being.